All right. Time to start another route, Symphonic Rain. Another route that I can only imagine will end in absolute disaster. Because the other two haven't been any better. I mean, well, this could be different. This one, there's a chance could be different. Maybe. I think there's an okay chance that we might end up on a slightly brighter path, considering we're getting close to like the true end. If this plays out like any other visual novel. All right, let's just quickly zoom through this beginning bit if we can. Skip this if we can. I think. Oh well. I mean, a lot of this is this like full screen text. We can't skip it all, but we're gonna go do Torta today. I've got the where is it? I've got the instructions here. This is the path that we originally kinda started going down, but I ended up, because it was like the first path, I just kind of went in blind and ended up screwing up too much because I was indecisive. But this is basically we're kind of doing this. The only thing we really have to change for this one is we go to practice room on our own. We don't have to play anything in there. We just have to go and practice alone. And then I guess that apparently leads to Torta. We'll skip most of this. Yeah, it's just intro shit. It's not really going to make a difference. We've already read this like 3 times. It's not really going to be any different until we actually get to school and have to start doing stuff. So it's very important these first two choices. These first 2 choices actually matter for once. So I'll have to make sure to click the right buttons. Fortunately, the bad end literally comes down to the last choice. I don't know when that last choice is. It could be like 3 hours from the end. It could be like 5 minutes. But it comes down to the last choice, like most of the other routes. Oh, do we have to do this practice again? We might. I'm still not sure if like I can skip these safely with like the option. I don't want to test it. I feel like if it, because like what if it doesn't, you know? Then it's like we waste all this time. That's fine. It's like the only gameplay we get. I mean, I say that, but you know, it's a visual novel, so like what can you do? But you know, it's like the only alternative gameplay that we get. Might as well savor it. Wonder what song we're gonna have to play for Torta. I wonder if it's the one that Chris wrote? Because I don't know if we've actually played that one. I might have played it once when I was like trying to figure things out. And I went to like the practice room on my own. It might be that song, but that could be for a different route. So it's possible she has a song that we'll get to hear. Now that I think about it, it's probably been playing her song whenever she's on screen, and I just never realized. It's usually like a slight remix of it, so it's not really sure what it's gonna actually sound like. Now, I'm gonna do my best to actually do like a short stream of this and not like get carried away and play this for 5 hours, because I do actually want to play OSU today. I booted up earlier to get everything updated because it took a little bit. It actually took a lot less time than I thought it was going to migrate all my songs. But it did take a little bit of time, and I want to like make sure everything was actually improved and nothing was like horribly broken. Fortunately, nothing was horribly broken. Okay, there we go. Had to make sure I get through that hard part. Would hate to... Oh, okay, and then I fucking talking screwed it up anyways. Would hate to fail this song and have it screw up the entire route. But yeah, it's working so much better now. Having migrate everything, the song select menu is actually responsive. I can type. It doesn't freeze up the entire thing. Unless you type in Japanese, then it does freeze up the entire thing, but that's fine. I still actually, weirdly enough, have to type in Japanese to find a couple of songs that I really shouldn't need to do. So I don't know what part of the database would need to get changed for that, but there's definitely some issues with the Romanized metadata. I wouldn't be surprised if it applied to other languages too, but I only have the ability to test it with Japanese characters. So I wouldn't know about, like, Russian or something. Which is fairly common. I have a few Russian maps. Alright, here we go. So, we gotta properly explain. Explain carefully. But we've read this one too, so it's gonna just skip everything, that's fine. Oh, it actually fast-forwarded those parts, that's interesting. So we do want her help to... I think... wait, what was this for? Message log. This is the right one, right? Help you look if you want. Yeah, request her help. Okay, yeah, ask her. We want to ask her help. Of course, we all know how this turned out. She fucking sucks at looking for people. Holy shit, it gets like right into it. This one... Oh no, this is also important. It's very important that we tell her we're an atheist. Very important we tell her we're an atheist, apparently. I don't know why. Not sure what would happen if I said yes. But this guide says that you need to say that you don't believe in God. Okay, now we need to go to the practice room. We need to go to practice room. We could just, like, not practice. We've done all this before. Yeah, see, these routes are going to get a little shorter. We can speed through a lot of this stuff now. Now we need to go to lesson room. Yeah, we need to go to the lesson room. This might be new. No, is this not new? Oh yeah, that's right. We're both having trouble... I think this was like about how we need to find partners and shit. Yeah, I think that's what this is all about. Oh yeah, now he's gonna help us go get a partner. I don't know if this is like repeated content as well. Probably is. It lets me fast forward, so yeah, it is. I remember this. This was like, we haven't done this since like the first day. But yeah, basically he's just helping us find a partner. He's not very good at it either. Hence why we ended up down the bad route most of the time. Alright, so now we have to go to the old school building. So actually, we were kind of close to getting this ending originally, because this is the day I went to the old wing as well. Then we meet her, and then she runs away, and then we never see her again. But yeah, we went through all this. Well, we went through all this like last time, and then also the first time. So we've seen that like 3 times now. Okay, now we go to the Chinacolo. This might be new. Is this new? I don't think it is, because otherwise why is it like letting me skip? Stop forbidden in front of the Chinacolo, which serves as a lounge for students. Oh, maybe I did come here before, and that's why it remembers. No one wants to play with him. Or do they? Number of people steadily increase, one's playing and one's conversing, gradually splitting into groups. Oh no, we have to meet Foul in here. This is how we meet Foul. Right? I think so. Yes, this is how we meet Foul. Umbrella Girl. Or Umbrella Bitch, as we learned. This is also Ode. Okay, then we go to practice with Foul. And then we do practice room on our own. Long days over. Is this also? Oh, this is also. Yeah, it's probably going to take a little bit to get to the meat and potatoes of this route, but I'm sure we'll get there soon. I mean, if this ends up, if we end up like able to fast forward through most of this until Christmas break. Oh no, practice with her. Yeah, we can practice with her. Oh, this is what this is. Okay, this is new then. Right. Aria asked Torta to help Chris out, but Torta's busy with her own song. But you know, we could change that. We could maybe we could team up. She just seems a little reserved on teaming up, but we'll see. I think this might be kind of new. It was Monday, so the practice rooms would be crowded. Looking around carefully, Torta starts searching for an available practice room. Maybe none of them are available. You sound like you don't really want to practice. I'm the one that invited you, so of course that's not it. You have a pretty bad image of me. If you don't like the image, then change a little. Maybe people see you differently. Yeah, thanks, but I already knew that. You don't know a thing. Well, that one's free. Oh, I remember this conversation. Okay, this is like also old. Alright, I think maybe we did play her song then. This might be new. I don't think so. I think we did this once. I just forgot. Oh, I do remember playing this. And like completely flubbing it because I didn't know how the fuck to play this game. Yeah, this was like not the best song to play right off the bat when you're first starting this game out. Oops. Going hard on the drums. You know, I'm starting to wonder if, like, these instruments are just, like, magical Casio keyboards. Oh, fuck. That would explain why they can do all these sounds. Like, they have all this technology, they have lamps, they have cars. Apparently they don't have, telephones. I have yet to see a telephone, but someone mentioned a car at some point. But they don't have, like, the ability to make, like, electronic keyboards. Now I remember the song. Yes, this one had the fucking less than symbol. Oh my god. It's not even that hard when you look at the keyboard and you realize what keys those are. Alright, this one's gonna definitely take a little bit of practice. But it's got a lot of variety in it. It's actually really fun to play. What? That was the right keys. Ah well, still passed. We're good. Alright, I think that pretty much sets us on the route as long as we don't... From this point on, as long as I don't practice with anyone else, we should be good. Hearing her voice from behind me made me nervous at first, but in the end, I played better than I ever had. I didn't miss any other, like, new dialogue, did I? Or did I? I don't remember some of this. I mean, I must have read it, because it let me skip it. It might let me skip this too, but I think this is a good jumping on point. It's actually been about 3 years since I performed an ensemble with Torta. Since we'd come to the school, we hadn't had the chance as our majors were different. That meant that the last time it was really when we were just goofing around at our local music school. We did pretty well in the end. Yeah, that was way better than I thought we'd do. It was like there hadn't been a gap of several years at all. Even our breath was perfectly synced. Like I could naturally hear Torta breathing. Even though we didn't plan out the dynamics or the length at all. And because of that, I couldn't help but remember the time when we were always playing together. How did you think it would go? Not like that. I meant that my arrangement was better than I expected. Patting yourself on the back. But it was pretty good, right? I guess. Thanks. So, I guess we should stick with the song. Got it. Let's practice some more. Right. We still have time. Okay, one more from the beginning. We just rolled into another practice, but... Yeah, it's a little hard like this. It's okay. There's no problem. For you... Okay, I'm going. Yeah. After that, time passed by in an instant. It was literally like returning to my childhood days. I was able to tell my partner what I thought was bad without hesitation, and Torta also told me frankly what she thought. There were, of course, many things for which restraint and consideration were necessary, but there were many good things about my current relationship with Torta, if only in relation to music. Shall we stop for today? Yeah, good work. You too. I noticed the sheet music on the stand while cleaning up the practice room and gave it to Torta. Here, I can leave the copying to you, right? Yeah, I'll do it before next time. This is definitely new. I think what happened was I did that and then immediately went on to someone else and it just like completely fucked up the route. So this time that won't happen. Rain wasn't as hard as I thought. I was a little concerned it was still raining where Arietta was too, but soon realized it probably already stopped. There's much distance between us. By the time my letter reached her, much would have changed. On the other hand, the distance between myself and my other childhood friend was surprisingly close. If I called out to her now, she'd turn around. Did you say something? Torta was walking a few paces in front and turned to look at me. Was I thinking out loud? Nothing. That's weird. You'll catch a cold if you walk so slow. I know. Feigning toughness, I sped up my pace to walk next to her. I was next to her, close enough to exchange words. Maybe it's because we practiced so late, but I'm hungry. Torta started happily making small talk. The closeness was a little hard for me at the time. I want to see how this goes. Gonna fucking ditch Arietta for her sister. That's what's probably gonna happen too, you know. As usual, I finished up my morning lesson and lunch. Well then, what should I do next? What do we do next? We go to practice room next. Wait. Which practice room? Shit. I think it's the one in the corner, but just in case. It's this one, right? The other one I think is foul. Yeah. And then we go to the cafeteria. Practice in parts, I guess. Because yeah, practice in parts does like auto. It just skips the day. Alright, then we just go home. So yeah, we just kind of like seem to skip a lot of days with this one. Alright, so now we go to the cafeteria, which is apparently an option. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Are you okay for today, Torta? For what? Practice. I was hoping we could. Oh, of course, I'm okay. You don't have to check like that. But what about your own practice? I practice seriously at home too. Anyway, it's the same song. Practice seriously? Don't jump to the conclusion that I just rest all day. But it's true, isn't it? How do you know? I know that much. You've been like that forever. I like to think I've grown up a little. Some things don't change. Saying this in a strangely moving way, Torta brought the subject to a close. Now then, let's go to the practice rooms. It didn't seem like she was making fun of me, so I followed quietly behind her. Okay, let's do our best today. Okay, now then. The sheet music. Oh, that. You're kidding. So, today, the same as before is fine, right? Saying this, Torta pulled a single copy of the sheet music from her bag and placed on the stand. She's doing this on purpose. This is gonna be like foul again. You can't trick me twice, game. I know how this goes. Already have one person manipulate. Not gonna have two. Can't pull the whole childhood friend thing and manipulation at the same time. Ain't gonna work. Alright, let's begin. Miss Tordanita? I was busy. There's nothing I could do. But you said you'd have it next time. These things happen. No. Well, it's not here now, so that's it. Are you angry at me? Well, maybe you're the one that's, like, getting angry at her. Just because you can't play with someone looking over your shoulder. Come on now. Come on now. What's wrong with winging it sometimes? It's not sometimes. It was the same last time. Like I said, these things happen. And I said they don't. Oh, just shut up. Let's get on with it. It's too late now anyway. How ridiculous. I think the only ridiculous person here is Chris. Okay, we'll practice from page 1. Fine. She'd never have enough time to copy the music, so we'd have to keep practicing like this. Why don't you copy the music, huh? Doesn't matter if you're good at it, just do it yourself. Also, weird that we're playing this again, like, physically. Maybe it only feels like that because I'm skipping a lot of it. Or this route is like a little shorter. Definitely feels shorter. Wow. Hey Jack, how's it going? I'm gonna get like a pass here, right? Okay, good. I'm gonna like barely get a pass. That transition to like the bottom row is really weird. Okay, good. What? How did I manage to press the same button 3 times when I didn't need to? That was terrible. Alright, if we're gonna use the song to foreshadow what's coming up here, like the last couple times, I'm predicting jealousy because Chris is girlfriends with her sister instead of Torta. And she's gonna hate that. And then we're gonna have to like break up with her sister just because she's asking us to, or she'll like force us to either break up with Arietta Or she won't perform with us at the concert. That's what's gonna happen. As we practiced like this, the first thing I felt was nostalgia for the time when I wasn't thinking about my graduation recital or anything about the future. When playing the Fortell and singing was just fun. It wasn't only that, of course. One of our goals was to get better. To give a great performance and be praised by a single girl. At some point, Torta's presence behind me felt like Arietta, and the next thing I knew, I was performing totally naturally. Ari couldn't sing well, so she just watched quietly from behind me so as not to get in the way. It used to make my neck tickle and I wanted to tell her to stop, but I always finished without saying anything. I'd turn around and as our eyes met, Ari would give a shy smile as if asking for forgiveness, to which I could never say anything. It's about time. Torta said this while stretching and looking at the clock. Good work. You were pretty good in the second half. Doesn't bother you anymore? No, I guess not. Okay, so I don't have to hurry copying the music then. Is Tortanita? I know. What's with the pause? I'm being serious, okay? Yeah, but it's so easy to sing behind you, Chris. Why? Don't you think it's embarrassing to face someone and sing? Being watched from behind is more embarrassing. That's you. I'm talking about me. Just bring it next time, okay? I said I know. You're such a pain. I should be the one telling you that. So do you want to copy it, Chris? Please do it. I didn't actually mind copying myself, but if I told her that, I felt like she'd be offended somehow, so I just couldn't. That's better. Okay, until next time. I'm counting on you next time. Leave it to me. Torta said this and laughed. Well, if something spun at 1 billion RPM, I don't know, it'd probably, like, break apart from its own force. I think that's like, whenever you start using numbers bigger at that scale, doesn't matter what it is, the answer's probably, it's gonna most likely break. I headed to the far end of the hallway connecting to the practice rooms, to the place I was to meet Fal. Now that I think about it, I had only a few experiences of rehearsing with someone I barely knew. I was slightly nervous as I peeked through the small window of the practice room door, but I spotted her immediately. So anyway, I should have said if she had been singing, but there were no signs of her singing, and so as she just sat at the piano reading something. Okay, so the next one we have to do, I think it's cafeteria, or we have to go to cafeteria again. No, that was today. Okay, there's another option coming up soon. Rooms are soundproof, so I doubt she would hear me knock. However, I knocked lightly on the door just in case. I think this is all the same. Should be anyways. Yes, this is all the same. We have to do a practice with Fal. Again. I guess this one. Yeah. Just get it over with. I don't know, how many times we're gonna have to play this song again? I mean, then it would spin at 1 billion RPM, I guess. I'm not really sure what kind of answer you're looking for. I don't remember how to play this song. Fuck. Will I ever perfect that part? Probably not. Fuck. Whatever. Look, I gotta do well at this song. I don't need, like, her talking behind my back, telling everyone how shitty of a Fortell player I am. Might affect my chances to partner up with Torta. Doesn't matter who I'm playing with. I gotta just give it my all. I think the ferry is like the final route. The final route's either the ferry or... Yeah, no, I think the ferry's the final route. So we still have one... Technically, like, 3 routes left besides this one. But apparently the next couple are really short. So I'm not really sure how much longer it will be. Alright, let's get through all this foul stuff. We go home, and now semi-ready. So now we go to cafeteria because we got to meet up with Torta. Wait, why is it letting me skip this? I don't remember doing this part. All right, let's start today's practice. You're kidding, right? Right? If I'm not, I'll be mad, of course. Don't worry, I brought it this time. Good. Torta brought another copy of the sheet music out of her bag and sat on a chair after looking at it for a while. Alright, let's begin. You're doing this on purpose. You are, aren't you? Of course I am, but I kinda got used to doing it this way. You're used to it too, aren't you, Chris? I'm used to it, but... And it's fine. No, it's not. Is it really no good? Yeah. Is it definitely no good? Torta looked at me as if asking for forgiveness. It was just like Arietta's old expression. No, definitely is a bit strong. So, can we? No, not that. So we can't? I mean, it's not bad, but... Alright. You win. Just don't make that face. Yeah. As long as I can stand behind you. Huh? How did you turn things around so quickly to suit you? Because you said it was okay, Chris. I did say that, but... You boys are so bad about these kinds of things. Whenever Ari made that face at you, you always just nodded to her. Wait, I'm sure Ari doesn't think like that. Maybe, you never know. No, I trust Ari. Don't trust so much that you get hurt later. So, shall we start? That seems like foreshadowing for Val's route. Should have taken that advice, Chris. Dumbass. Okay. I arranged my fingers on the Fortell keys, doing my best not to notice her behind me. We played this many times before, so Torta knew the timing. I started playing the Fortell, taking the lead. Again? Oh, okay, good. We actually skip it for once. Team is a scary thing. I was now able to play the Fortell without being distracted. Must have been easier for Torta as well, because her singing was very good. Even I was able to play without faltering, despite only having practiced together a few times. If there was such a thing as chemistry, there was no question ours was good. It was tiring too. Yeah, at least I was sitting down. Must be pretty hard for you to stand the whole time, Torta. You know, if you use the other sheet music, you could go and sit down and hold the music, and then you wouldn't have to stand the whole time. Hint, hint. It's fine. I'm used to it. Seems to me it would be harder to sit in one place for that long. Huh. I suppose it's something you get used to. Yeah. Okay. Let's clean up and go. Saying this, Torta packed up the sheet music from the chair. Huh? What? Did you write something on that? Of course I did. Who doesn't scribble on sheet music during practice? When... You didn't look back even once. Did you forget I was there? No, I was just focused on practice. I know, I was kidding. This wasn't her sobbing routine from before, but it was a face I couldn't get angry at. This is why girls are so scary. Now let's go. Yeah. Somehow I felt that I was being twisted around Torta's little finger, doing whatever she wanted today. But at the same time, I felt nostalgia and my cheeks were flushed with warm before I knew it. Shame he didn't realize that with Fowl the entire time, but notices it instantly with Torta. Okay. Torta stood on the road crossed by the many alleys of the old district. It was midway between Torta's house and my apartment. Okay, see you Monday. We'd only started walking home together since we began practicing together in December, so I said this to hide my slight shyness. Until now, we had mostly just parted ways at the cafeteria. It had really been a long time since we walked together like this. Oh yeah, but tomorrow's Sunday. Are you free? No way. Practice? Why do you sound so upset? Not practice. We don't have to practice. So, do you want to come to my place? Are you doing something? My grandma said she wants you to come by sometime. Nina, I guess I haven't been by lately. You haven't been by at all. Only a couple times a year. She's kind of worried. Oh, last time must have been in the summer. That's right. Nina was Torta's grandmother, and she took care of me a lot when I was little. She had previously lived with Ari and Torta in their house, but when I was about 10 years old, she suddenly said she was going to live in Piova and move there alone. She was natural-born dilettante and loved music, and when she said she wanted to spend her remaining years here, the twins and their parents didn't protest much, and now Torta was renting a room on the second floor. I still thought that was Nina's plan from the beginning. So, what do you want to do? I'll go if you put it like that. Good. Grandma will be happy. Of course, I won't bring my fortel. It's still early to practice on our days off. You want to play for her? She really wanted to hear your fortel, Chris. Are you trying to get me to practice again? No, that's not what I'm saying. But she was looking forward to hearing you play after so long, Chris. But I've never practiced this much until now, so I was never this tired. You haven't been practicing enough until now. I'll give you either Saturday or Sunday off, so pick a day. Sunday then. I want to take the whole day off tomorrow. We practice every day this week. If you did this normally, it wouldn't be such a big deal. I'll get used to it. I hope so. Okay, my house on Sunday. Got it. What time is good? I'm sure you have dinner, right? So, around noon. You want to practice until then? Of course. Okay, around 3 o'clock. Noon. How about 2? Noon. 1:30? Enough. That time is fine. What about lunch? I'm sure I'll already have eaten by then. Don't worry about that. I'll eat first. Yeah, fine. Okay, see you the day after tomorrow. Got it. See you then. I really was wrapped around Torta's finger today. I realized I didn't mind it so much, and that annoyed me. You say he's a bottom, but you recall Fowl's ending, right? And how he was definitely not a bottom? I had a quick lunch, slung my fortel over my shoulder, and went outside. I ignored the constant rain and hurried to Torta's house. The area of the house I was heading to existed alongside rows of apartment buildings for students like me. There are many charming old buildings, and the one that Nina bought to live here was no exception. It was pretty close to my apartment, so I could walk there in 5 minutes. I walked toward a comparatively large building across the way, sandwiched between 2 thin alleys. I wonder if this is this going to be any different? Or is it going to be the same as before? Because we did do this scene, like, originally. Just a minute. But that's fine. This is, like, a big part of her route. Man, we were so close to getting this route done. I don't know how I managed to fuck it up so bad. Like, I just almost blindly stumbled my way into this. I guess it's only because I didn't go to the cafeteria. That's all I had to do. Come in. I was greeted by a smiling Torta and went inside. Thank you for inviting me. Yes, it's always been raining. The only times it's not been raining is at the ends when it shows him leaving Piova. Like, it stopped raining when they got in on the train and, like, crossed through a mountain. And it stopped raining one other time where it showed an end. Oh, yeah, with last week. Last part of this, when we were in the hospital, because the hospital wasn't in Piova. I took a step into the room with its nostalgic smell. I'm hoping we get an explanation for the rain. There's gotta be something. It's the kind of place that made me feel homesick every time I came. Is that you, Chris? I heard a chair creak and Nina called out to me. Yes, it's been a long time. down a bent wood chair. Nina rocked slowly as she turned to face me. Come closer. Yes, ma'am. I moved closer as she asked and touched her deeply wrinkled hand on the armrest. You've gotten so big. It's only been half a year. I can't grow that fast. There's that dull tone again. She said this in a graceful voice and looked at me in the eyes. No, the truth is she was just trying to look. Her narrow eyes couldn't open very wide and were clouded white. I almost couldn't see. Right, it doesn't suit you. A long time ago I called Nina Grandma as Torta did, and she still talked about it like it was yesterday. I didn't mind being treated that way at all, but I was getting to the point where being treated like a child was humiliating. I was also at an age where I had to be polite to an extent. Anyway, thank you for having me today. It might get a little loud. That's fine. We're going to play here then. Yes I am. I thought we'd practice in Torta's room, but it seemed it would be better not to. Yeah, we're going to practice here. Hey, that's good. Nina slowly leaned back in her chair, making herself comfortable in order to listen to the music. I had the feeling I was being urged on and got my fortel ready right away. Oh, you're quite serious today. As always. Well, maybe that's overstating it. Nina's body shook with silent laughter. Slightly regretting not visiting for so long, I vowed secretly to play more seriously than usual today. First, I lightly arranged my fingers on the keys and struck a chord. The clear sound of the fortel rang out in the room, and Nina faced me slightly. The house itself was large, and there wasn't anyone in the area that would complain about the noise. I repositioned myself slightly so Nina could hear better, and faced Torta. Which reminded me that we hadn't practiced facing each other yet. As we were more directly in each other's line of sight than usual, I felt shy for some reason. In an attempt to ensure that at least Nina didn't catch on to my newfound bashfulness, I called out to Torta in a slightly glum tone. I'm ready. My voice is already warmed up. In Torta's room on the second floor was an upright piano, just like the one at her parents' place. She must have warmed up before noon. I guess that meant she was well prepared. Maybe she knew how lazy I was and was trying to practice for as long as possible. Phew. I let out a big breath and met Torta's eyes directly in front of me. We didn't need a signal to start. I breathed in at the same time as her, then gradually struck the keys. The room here seemed to be built with no consideration for acoustics, but Torta's voice still rang out. The sound bounced off the walls and got a little loud, but she had enough power to drown that out. Then her voice, different from the voice I usually heard coming from behind me in practice, fused with the fortel and created a true harmony. Nina was motionless as if she were sleeping, just letting the waves of music wash over her. At some point, we even forgot Nina was there and became part of the music. Then we snapped out of this seemingly endless illusion like it never existed. We stayed motionless for a while. Then Nina spoke to break the momentary silence. Chris, Torta. Yes, ma'am. What? You've gotten good. Those were her only words, but it was plenty for us. I was oddly happy and thought about playing something else. But Torta sent me a gaze signaling for me to stop. Grandma, we have to practice now. Yes, do as you like. I'll get the food ready. Right. Why? We could play another song or something. It's fine. I don't want to get in the way of your practice. Just practice as you always do and stay until nighttime. That's fine. Like she says. Oh. Yes. I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to visit more often. I'm just happy to have you come whenever you want. Saying only this, Nina walked to the kitchen, as if she didn't care what we did after that. It was like she was silently telling us we didn't have to worry about her. Her steps were so light, you'd never think she was nearly blind. She was healthy enough to provide for herself, and cooking was always Nina's job. After making sure Nina's steady steps had taken her into the kitchen, I faced Torta again. Let's not go upstairs yet. We'll practice here instead so she can hear us from the kitchen. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, let's start with the part that's hard for you, Chris. No, we can start with what you need to work on, Torta. You said it first. As our pointless argument continued, we heard snorts of laughter from the kitchen. For some reason that made me comfortable, and I thought this was just fine. As the three of us rested after dinner, time passed quickly. Because I only visited a couple times a year, we just talked about what was going on with me. Nina wanted to know trivial things that I wouldn't talk about even to Torta, and we ended up talking until very late. It's getting late. I should be going. Chris, thank you so much for today. I'm sorry I can't visit more often. At some point my tone had gotten familiar too. Even every time I came to try to be polite, but I was always this familiar by the time I went home. Don't go out of your way. It's fine if when you want to. Yeah, okay. I answered honestly without overdoing it. Nina nodded slowly and finally took my hand once again. Okay, see you tomorrow. Standing in the doorway, Torta murmured at this. I ate it at the end so only I could hear. Oh jeez. Thanks for today. Yeah, see you tomorrow. I inhaled the nostalgic smell of the room deeply one more time and went outside. The falling rain was cold, so I put on my coat again and hurried home. You're late. I'm home. Sorry I'm late. What about your reply to Marie? Did you have time? You're worried about our ensemble, Forney, but not my reply to the letter. Sorry, I'm pretty tired today. What are you talking about? Hurry up and write your reply. When I think about tomorrow, all I can really manage is writing the letter. What? We really can't play then? Next week, we'll play twice as much. Forgive me. I waited for you and everything. I'm really sorry about that. Fine. Couldn't do anything about Forney. Maybe I could play with her a little tomorrow, even though it wasn't Sunday. I'm sorry, Forney. I didn't know if she could hear me, but I apologized quickly and decided to forget about it for the time being. Now then. I didn't talk for a long time, but I was still full from dinner and was struggling to stay awake while I opened the letter. Looking at the neatly lined up letters gave me a feeling of relief, threatening to make me sleepy again. I wanted to relax a little, so I laid on the bed to read the letter. What do you do if your iPad feels like it can burn with a single touch? I would probably turn it off for a while and let it cool, and then try using it again and see if it's still hot. Devices like that can get hot from time to time. They're usually designed in such a way that the heat, like they usually have fail-safes, so the heat doesn't actually ruin the device. If it's too hot for you, I would definitely not put it on your legs. Don't put it on a blanket either, because that could be just as dangerous. Put it on a table, and if it's still hot, you could probably still use it, but there is, like, just be careful, because there's a chance you could wreck it. This goes for, like, any sort of portable, compact electronic device, like even laptops, which have ventilation and stuff. But I find even sometimes my phone gets hot, and yeah, it just like, it sometimes gets hot and then it just doesn't. It could be a number of things. It could be like something inside is causing it to have poor circulation, but it can even just be like you have a lot of stuff running and it's using a lot of its processing power, which heats it up, which is what happens to my phone sometimes. But I would just start with turning it off for a bit. Yeah, definitely just like turn it off for a while and let it cool down, and then try again. Have a heavy-duty case on, could that have helped? Maybe. I have a bit of a case on my phone too, like I have like a hard outer shell for like shock protection, and I would imagine that could be part of the reason why it gets hot, but I've tried it before and take off the case and it still is hot. So it's possible, but I doubt it. I would say just like turn it off and give it a try in a little bit once it's cool. Here's charging and doing something on. Oh, try unplugging it, see if it cools down. Maybe if unplugging it causes it to cool down, then I almost wonder if there's something with the charger. Because it's also quite possible you can overcharge a device. Technically speaking, it's not a good idea to use a device while it's charging, but most devices are fine, like for the most part, to design that way. But technically speaking, it is bad for the electronics to like use it while it's charging. If you really wanted to like protect your stuff, you should always like completely shut whatever you're using down before charging it, but no one ever does that. It's not worth it, the trouble. Alright, I'm gonna get some water and then we'll continue reading here, because I just realized I'm out and my voice. Charger was the one I came with. I mean, yeah, like there could still be, if it's like faulty for whatever reason, then it could be. But it also could just be like sometimes when I charge my phone, it gets hot, and then it's fine otherwise though. It's done that a number of times. Like, I mean, to be fair, my phone is also like 7 years old, so that probably also has something to do with it. But also lower the brightness. I heard that could cause it's using a lot of power. Yeah, like if you have your iPad, if you have like a lot of software applications minimized, like in your, I don't know what it's called on the iPad, but like just in the background being paused, then it takes processing power to keep those programs paused. So maybe closing programs you're not using at the moment might help as well if you have a lot of stuff open. Chris, no doubt it's still raining there. The rain that started last week has since stopped, and the weather is now aimlessly nice again. Sometimes I wonder how endless rain would make me feel. If I could take even a little of your rain and bring it here, I'd do so happily. I feel like I could see you laughing at me for saying something so silly, Chris. But that's honestly how I feel. How's the search for your graduation recital partner? I'm sorry to bring this up again, but it's the most important thing right now, so forgive me. Even if it's not Torta, no matter who it is, your graduation is on the line, so it's important. I hope you find someone good soon and start practicing. It'd be pretty sad to only talk about that, so I'll write about myself a little. I started working at this bakery at the same time that you and Torta entered the music school, so it's already been over 2.5 years. I'm happy to report that I'm now able to bake bread from start to finish by myself. I'm very busy every day, but it's fulfilling, and I think I'm working just as hard as you, Chris. Hope I can serve you some of the delicious bread I make someday, Chris. I'm eagerly awaiting that day. Love, Arietta. See, these letters could go very differently because now that we're going with Torta, which is exactly what she wanted. You have just me, like nothing in the background? Yeah, I would say like the best solution would be to turn it off and just give it a little bit to cool down. But who knows, it could just like go cool down on its own too. It might just be like using a lot of power. Is this like the first time it's done it, or have you noticed it before? Still a little warm? Okay, if it's cooling down a little bit, it might be okay. Just keep an eye on it. If it gets like really hot again and you're concerned, and if it's like burning you, definitely just shut it down and let it cool off completely. There could be like a number of things that could cause it to heat up. It could be anything from like something really minor, like just it's using a lot of power at the moment for whatever reason, to something actually being wrong. Bread made by Arietta. I didn't really want to think about food with my full stomach, but I was sure I can manage that much. Horny. I set the letter by the bed and muttered, "Wake me up a little early tomorrow. I can't even write a reply." Buried my face in the pillow and was in dreamland in no time. Good night. Wake up. Felt like someone had said that into my ear. I hadn't slept off all my fatigue just yet. I didn't want to open my eyes yet, and I was drowsy. Just couldn't get up. Hey, you told me to wake you up, Chris. Ugh. I opened my eyes slowly and saw Forney standing angrily by the bed. Morning. Morning. Is it that time already? Looked past Forney's angry face to the clock on the wall. Just a little after 9:30. I can sleep for another 30 minutes. Tell me to wake you up, Chris. She said this and pulled hard on my ear. That being said, it was the strength of a tiny fairy. It didn't hurt very much. Get up, right now. Okay, stop screaming in my ear. You haven't even written your letter to Ari yet, have you? Oh, that reminded me that I was at Nina's house so late last night that I just fell asleep after reading the letter. As my memory returned, I searched near my pillow for the letter, but it wasn't there. You're looking for the letter. I put it on the table so you wouldn't crumple it up, Chris. Oh, thanks. Now hurry and get up, write the letter, and practice properly today. That tone reminded me of someone. No, maybe it was like that since I met her. What she was saying reminded me completely of Torta. Whatever. Thanks for waking me up anyway. Ugh. You couldn't do anything without me, Chris. Not anything? Not anything. I see. I was thinking of doing an ensemble with you today after I got home. But if you say things like that, I don't think I want to. You weren't thinking that. No. It's okay if you think I was lying. I was just thinking that would be nice, but I don't want to anymore. Huh? Thought she'd apologize right away and be done with it. Why are you being stubborn? I'm not. I think the way you're talking is evidence that you're being stubborn. Maybe I've been too mean to her since yesterday. I started to feel kind of bad for her and decided to give in. Okay, I'm sorry. It's fine. Forney was angry, but I couldn't help but thinking it was a little cute. While contemplating how much longer I would have her to stew, I decided to finish my original goal of writing a reply to Ari. Oh. I stood and walked over to the desk, but Forney whispered something behind me. What? Nothing. What? Just say it. I said it's nothing. Forney didn't really want to say it, but I thought I understood. She probably wanted me to lift her to her favorite seat on the windowsill. Here. Oh. Put 2 fingers under her arms and propped Forney on the windowsill. Hey! This is what you wanted, right? It's fine, but... Listen, I'm sorry about yesterday, and being mean before. But about not being able to do anything alone, I think everyone is the same in that regard. Though, I'm sure if you didn't wake me up, Forney, I'd oversleep more. But if I don't pick you up, you couldn't get up high, could you, Forney? No. So I think you were a little wrong saying I couldn't do anything. Regardless, it takes 2 to make an ensemble. Okay, I get it. Thanks. Now I'll write that letter. Forney lowered her eyes to look out the window and hummed as she often did when she was happy. That relieved me, so I pulled a blank sheet of paper from the drawer and moved it to the table. It was good that Ari seemed to be doing well. I felt like she used to write often about how hard it was at first. Wrote complaints about how I couldn't get used to school, too. And now I'd made it this far. I would say it was because of the support of people like Forney, Torda, and even Asino and Miss Cordell. I was sure Ari had people like that, too. They didn't appear much in her letters, but I started writing the letter thinking about Ari's friends. You think because it was charging? That's pretty plausible. I've definitely had my stuff get hot charging. Not even just my phone, but other things too. I've had my 3DS definitely get a little hot. But if it's only getting hot when charging, at least with, like, for my 3DS, for example, not to alarm you, but when my 3DS started getting hot from charging, I found out it was because the battery was about to explode. And I don't know how easy it is to... You can't really take a battery out of an iPod, unfortunately, so just be careful, I guess is the only thing I can really say. But yeah, it was like when my 3DS started getting hot from charging, the battery was very bulbous. And I had to, like, just take it out and order a new one right away. Yeah, taking it out of the case definitely would help it cool off faster too. That's a good idea. Are you finished? It's almost time. Forney had totally cheered up and told me this while looking at the clock. It's okay, I'm done. If I get ready and go, I'll be just on time. Thanks for waking me up. You really do need me, Chris. It seemed like she had changed her way of speaking a little compared to before. Couldn't do nothing but agree. Yeah. I laughed while I answered and got ready to leave. Okay, see you later. Have a good day. You'll be early today, right? Maybe, but even if I'm late, I'll keep my promise. Yeah, I know. Alright, I think today is a cafeteria day, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe we don't need to. As usual, I finished my daily practice and spent some time with Torda in the cafeteria. Now then, what to do today? Go to the cafeteria. I guess all else fails, just go to the cafeteria. Because, like, that's basically her home location. Oh yeah, if you're using, like, the graphics processor in it, that definitely would explain why it might get hot. Okay, shall we practice again today? Huh? Torda had finished cleaning up after eating lunch, and I said this as she was preparing to head off to a practice room. Oh, yeah, of course, that's fine. As she nodded happily, I felt a little hard to breathe again. Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. Should go to a doctor. Get that checked out. When we arrived at the practice room, Torda took out her sheet music and placed it on a stand. It seemed she was finally ready to face me properly while practicing today. I thought this would make things easier, but at the same time I felt somewhat lonely too. Feeling eyes on my back while I played made me nervous, but thinking about it now, maybe it wasn't so bad. What? Is something wrong? Not really. Ah, you're disappointed I won't be behind you today. No way. But it was a terrible pity. If Torta had asked if it made me sad rather than disappointed, maybe I'd have to have said yes. Not sure why you paused before answering, but I'll let you away with it. Yeah, practice time. You know covering up like that isn't you, Chris. Not covering up, I was just thinking you'd keep talking and try to stand behind me. We were here to practice anyway, right? Yeah. Just leave it at that. Okay, from the beginning? Okay, after a voice and finger warm-up. Got it. Okay, give me a note. Oh, we're playing again. It definitely feels like we're playing this one a lot more than some of the other songs. Like the last song, I think we played it like, what, 3 times total? And one of those was the recital. Fuck. It's only gonna get more unforgiving from here, too. Fuck. Okay, it's gay. I can salvage this. Oh, fuck. Oh, there we go. That was fast. No, wrong button. There we go. Perfect evaluation. That's what I like to see. Probably could have gone 10,000 with a few less mistakes. We finished playing and looked at each other. Whoops, what did I click on? Oh shit. My third monitor, that's what I clicked on. This was our first time playing while facing each other, but we did better than I thought we would. Yeah, I think that was pretty good. Yeah. We hadn't come so far as to praise each other, but neither could we find any bad points. Considering the little practice we'd had, it was plenty to be satisfied with. If we keep this up, we'll do well at the recital too. If we actually keep this up. That sounded like a little timid, but it was a rare show of confidence from you, Chris. I guess. I suppose you could say Torta knew me well. I had just as much confidence as she said. Our timing was so good, you'd never think we practiced so little. Even so, we can't let up now. I know. Do you want to practice from the beginning again? Ew. Good work. For the second half, we practiced while giving each other detailed feedback. The song wasn't complicated for the foretell yet, so I had to add arrangements as I thought of them. I was also writing down all the problems I noticed that arose from adding the foretell. As I wrote them on the sheet music, its appearance naturally got worse. Once beautiful sheet music started to look messier and messier as I wrote on it. But that was just what other people who didn't know anything would see. Those little memos were evidence of our practice. It wasn't ugly at all. It's really starting to come together. Maybe. Just a bit warm now? That's good. I'm glad it cooled down. Yeah, every time I use my phone, I get like the same worry that something's wrong with it, but so far it's been okay. It's heat up pretty intensely a few times. But at this point, I feel like anything that was to happen to my phone, I would say it's probably just, I would chalk it up to age, because I got in like 2014 or 15 or something like that, so. What's wrong? Are you that tired? No, it's nothing. I gave out a curt answer, completely the opposite of how I felt. I was satisfied with the practice we just done. That's why I was trying to put more distance between us. If I didn't do that, I felt like it would be rude to Ari, but I instantly regretted it, thinking there must be another way to say it. Whatever. Invite me again whenever you like. Torta was silent for a while, then said this in a rather resigned tone. It was clear from her words that she understood exactly how I felt. At times like this, I thought it'd be good if we had the sort of relationship where she would mistakenly think I was just tired. But if that were the case, I wouldn't have such worries. I understand. I'll let you know. Agreeing to invite her as she had suggested, I had hoped, at least for that moment, that would be good if we could keep that promise. After that, we walked the road home, not really saying much. I wondered over and over whether that silence was what I really wanted. Well then, what should I do next? I think, oh no, today's a practice room day. Practice some parts, because we don't actually have to play. Yeah, that's true. So if it cooled down with it on, then it was probably just doing something. It could have been because it was plugged in, or it could just be because it was doing something. But at least it would definitely narrows it down a little bit, at least this time. And then we go cafeteria again. We're almost at the end of the options here. I would imagine that the final option's like right at the end. How about practicing together today? Huh? Even though we had just been interacting normally, Torta tensed up and waited for my reaction when this topic came up. You told me to invite you anytime. That's not what I really meant. Huh? So what'd you mean? I knew that what she meant, but I had to ask. No, I'm not, like, trying to force you. Listen, that's not what I meant. So what did you mean? Why are you inviting me, Chris? It's because I'm looking for a partner. So I'm a candidate? Yeah. Do you really want me as your partner? If I didn't want you at all, I wouldn't ask you. Oh. You not like the uncertainty? No. So, will you answer a question? Who are you partnering with? Who are you partnering with me for? What? Who are you partnering with me for? Huh? That was... for myself? I don't understand the question. There's a typo in that sentence somewhere, but I can't put my finger on it. For Torta? Or was it for Ari? Oh, okay, never mind. There's no typo in there. I get it now. Did Ari say something to you? She did say something, but that's not why. I didn't lie. I declared that wasn't for Arietta, but if I asked who it was for once again, probably would have frozen up. Even without that, I was at a loss for words. So would you pair up with whomever Ari says? I don't think so. Torta spoke after a short silence, ignoring my answer. Fine, let's practice. So she's upset that we're practicing with her because she thinks that Ari told us to do it. But then whenever we pick literally anyone else, she goes and snitches on Ari, telling her how we're going with someone else, that Chris hates her, all that good stuff. Can't win with this one. Oh, you don't think it's your charger? Then yeah, it could just be a fluke, really. I mean, computers get hot, that's just how it is. And devices that don't have ventilation, they're gonna get hot. And that's just how it be. But people who make that stuff understand that, and so they design it with that in mind. So it's unlikely that the heat would break it. It's very minor chance, I would say. Usually, like, proper sophisticated electronic devices, especially something high-end like an iPad, I would trust has fail-safes in it so that it won't break because of a little extra heat. I followed Torta as she went into the hall, hurrying a little to keep up. Torta, you said you wanted to practice, right? That's true, but you know what I mean, don't you? Torta finally stopped when I said this and looked me straight in the eyes. I know. If you don't want it, Torta, you don't have to. But you don't understand me, Chris. I'm not saying I don't want to partner with you. It's just, I was thinking that if you were going to practice with me right after Reed told you to, I would have liked it if you had chosen me earlier. I've been choosing you the entire time. This is a trap, because it makes you go to the old wing and do one practice with Val on this route. It's a fucking trap. You could go a whole... Oops. You can go a whole route without ever speaking to her, and yet when you want to speak to her and choose her, you have to practice with someone else. And what should I do? You understand what I just said? I'm in the wrong here. I just got mad at you for my own reasons, so I'm sorry. Just forget about it. Torta. Torta looked away from me and stared into space for a while. Then she spoke lightheartedly as if she was over it. Getting it off my chest made me feel better, so let's practice. Got it. Right. Lunch break had ended at some point, and there was no sign of anybody in the halls. Nevertheless, it wasn't impossible for someone to pass by. I was hoping nobody heard us, but the person I least wanted to see poked her face around the corner. You two are pretty funny. Miss Cordell. Huh? Oh. It was tough to figure out when I should show myself. So you were listening. I heard you, to be more specific. Well, we're going to practice, so excuse us. Torta. Yes. The hell's her problem? The fuck was that for? Do you have a minute before that? Miss Cordell stopped us as we tried to scurry off. What is it? It seems you've been practicing with Tortanita a lot lately. How did you know that? That doesn't matter. I thought that it did. Yeah, is she stalking us? That's like... I feel like that'd be a rule violation somewhere. Anyway, how would I observe your practice? You mean now? But it's time for Asino's lesson. Asino just asked me if he could take today's lesson off, so I'm free. I came looking for you, Clarice. Asino did? It wasn't unheard of for students to request lessons off. Attendance wasn't taken out for one-on-one lessons, or for third years. Our grades were based only on the 2 seasonal concerts and the graduation recital. That being said, it wasn't common. We were students, but it was our right to attend class, not our duty. I don't know if it could be said for everyone, but most of the students that attended the school liked music and wanted to work in music in some form. So the few months before graduation recital was the time for students like myself to become serious. So you were looking for me? Tortanita is here with you after all. Will you let me hear? Our performance? I don't think I'd want to hear anything else. Right. Should I even say that I wasn't yet confident? I was reluctant to refuse her with the excuse that we hadn't had enough practice. Miss Cordell had come all the way here to ask us, and I could see Torta out of the corner of my eye, looking at me with an anxious expression. Alright then. If I refused Miss Cordell once more, I thought Torta would be hurt again. Then she would think I was just doing what Arie's letters were telling me to do. I had no motivation. I was just playing with her because I lacked options. I was choosing to play with Torta now, and not because of all that. Of course, nothing was final. However, that was a choice I made within the limited time that I had. Here I was. I didn't have much leeway in any case. Is that alright, Torta? I don't mind. Okay then. So is the classroom alright? Yeah, I've got it all ready, so let's go in. Understood. Now then,
Please begin. I got everything ready and faced Torta. Torta nodded silently to let me know she was okay. We couldn't fail here. There would be no better opportunity to prove that I chose Torta of my own volition. Okay, here we go. Yeah. I figured we were probably going to play this. Definitely playing this one a lot. Alright, definitely don't fail this one. What? I totally pressed H, or P, or whatever it told me to press. Oh. I pressed the right button. Hell yeah, press the right button, let's go. Why she sings so nice but is toxic as hell? I don't fucking know. I bet it's like partially jealousy because her sister, Chris is going out with her sister and not her. I would not be surprised if this is going to boil down and the big twist is going to be like how she was so jealous that Chris chose Arietta and not her all these years. Quite good. Miss Cordell looked at Torta and me and said this in her usual tone. There were words of high praise from her. By the way, it seemed that not bad and how like you, Chris, were also compliments from Miss Cordell. If she didn't like it, she'd just say, once more, over and over again. And when she gave up, she'd say, enough, that's all for today. She was so cold that I thought someone not used to her would get depressed. Thank you. You've worked really hard in a short time as well, Tortanita. Thank you very much. Torta bowed her head low to Miss Cordell and thanked her once again. In a short time. I said it before, didn't I? You've grasped what you needed to. I thought about it and got some idea of what she meant. Today's incident included, the only person who could be giving her information was Asino. She probably came looking for us near the cafeteria because of what he had told her. Anyway, I'm relieved. Just keep practicing like that. But you're still far from perfect. We know. Well, we'll get back to our practice now. Right. I guess I'll go look for other students. Are you bored by any chance? Bored enough to watch students of mine practice. She said this and smiled. I feel like that's a thinly veiled insult, but I'm not sure. Okay, shall we continue? Yeah. Torta answered more cheerfully than before. Then I truly felt that I was here for Torta, right in front of me, and no one else. It may have taken a little time for me to realize that, but I didn't think it was too late. This is what I thought as I looked at Torta smiling next to me. I was able to focus more than usual on our continued practice. We performed over and over again amid the illusion that our hearts were connected. Like I was apologizing to someone. Like I was trying to prove something. Like continued playing the Fortell, over and over. Well then, what should I do next? Well, the only thing I can do, and that's go to practice rooms. I think this is the third last option. Her face is so slappable. Slap that smile off her face. Alright, so I think this one, if this one's cafeteria, then it's basically the last option. Yeah, okay. So the next option is probably not going to be until, like, close to the recital, if I had to take a guess. As Torta sat across from me, I invited her to practice today as well. How about practicing again today, Torta? Huh? Oh, sure. Thanks. So, should we just head to a practice room? Yeah. I stood up to leave the cafeteria when someone called out to me from behind. Hi, Chris. Oh, morning. I think you mean good afternoon. But you just woke up, didn't you, Asino? How did you know? I know that much. So, what's up? Oh, nothing really, but... As he said this, his gaze traveled to Torta behind me. Are you two going to practice now? I guess. So it's just as I suspected. Don't be so proud. Anyone could have figured that out. Stopped myself from saying it wasn't decided yet. But I was right. Seems strangely happy. No, it's nothing like that. I like how easy you are to read. Sorry I'm so easy. If it's nothing, I'm going, okay? Thought you had practice too. Yeah, I'm here because I was a little worried about you, but I'm relieved. Maybe you should worry about yourself first? I'm fine. Unlike you, Chris. Well, I admit I'm not like you. Zeno was happy for some reason. He looked at Torta and me one more time, and walked to the classroom with a light wave. What was that about? Asked Torta, who hadn't spoken a single word yet. I don't know. Was he just happy things were the way he thought? Torta answered with the same disinterested tone as always used when talking about Asino. Regardless of what he says, no, that was the only choice at the time anyway. Asino's more childish than you think. I'm sure he thinks the same thing about you, right? That is possible. I feel the same way. By the way, who do you think is more childish? What's this question? That's easy. You're both equally childish. Torta stated this as if it were totally obvious. Oh, thank you. I wasn't totally satisfied with that, but I didn't have the will to deny it. We didn't have much time to waste, so we just headed to the practice rooms. Corey, let's play word game. Oh, what kind of word game? Time flies when you're concentrating, and the next thing I knew, I was sweaty and tired. The small windowless room messed with my sense of time, and if I didn't look at the clock, it seemed like we hadn't been practicing for very long. Define abhor? Like, when you abhor something? Isn't that like basically hate? Or not hate, but like somewhere on that end of the scale? You detest something? You dislike something? Phew. Torta stretched her back where she stood and rolled her shoulders many times, as if to lure me. Good work. I like that that's his first thought. Yeah, shoulder rolling is a good sign of, like, I want to fuck you. That's definitely what she's trying to say. So far, that's only happened once. And I don't see it happening here. Ubiquitous stands out when something is, well, kind of conspicuous, but it's not like it's not hidden, but it's just like it's the defining point. I didn't think there was anything special to say about our performance, but Torta suddenly asked a question, looking a little puzzled. Has your sound changed, Chris? My sound? I'm not sure why, but I kind of feel like it changed. How specifically? I don't know. What's that about? I don't know, that's why I asked. You got it backwards. I asked because I don't know. It's more of a feeling, not really something that I can put into words. So you're saying I should know? Or that I should explain? I guess you can't, Chris. No, it's not that I can't. Never mind. I don't really know either. It was like Torta wasn't listening to a thing I said. She wondered on her own and answered on her own. Oh, common? Doesn't it kind of also mean what I said? Like, that's what... I swear that's the context I've mostly seen it in. But maybe I misinterpreted the context. I don't care anyway. Music is a fickle thing in the first place. It can change greatly based on the conditions or emotions of the day. Pros are less influenced and just more in control. The hurdle is very high, but we are all fundamentally humans at heart, so we all have the potential. What's more, it can change depending not only on the performer's mood, but also on the listener's. It's necessary to value emotion, but it isn't very good to let it lead you astray. Well, we have 2 days off starting tomorrow. Hopefully you can explain it well then. You plan on taking 2 days off? Huh? Yeah, that was the plan. No, it wasn't. Fuck you, Chris. Don't be, like, trying to change the deal here. Are you seriously motivated? Yes, I am. So I'll ask you again. Do you plan on taking 2 days off? God forbid. Of course I'll give you 1 day off. You can choose which day you want. Her face was smiling. But was this a threat? Either one is fine. There was no difference in taking tomorrow off or the day after. I thought it may have been easier to do it on the same day of my practice with Forney. I could rest all day, then play all day. Or I could take 2 half-days off. Either way, I'd lose a whole day of rest. Man, this guy, he's just like, he's spending so much time trying to like negotiate time off. Just fucking practice your stupid piano. So what to do? Well, how about, huh? Is Sunday alright? She said she was going to let me choose. I did say that either would be fine though. But why? No real reason. So, at your house again, Torta? About that. Would your apartment be alright, Chris? I don't mind, but what about Nina? I thought she'd be happy. Listen, let's say you come 2 weeks in a row after not visiting for 6 months. It might seem that you were just doing it to please her. It may be true. And she said you should come when you wanted to, Chris. You know. Got it, but my apartment? Haven't been there at all lately. Don't you think we could relax more than at the school? And you can sleep in. That is a pretty appealing. Also, Forney would be happy to hear Torta was coming. Non sequitur? Isn't that, like, pointless? Irrelevant? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so after lunch? I'm sure you won't say earlier. Man, these words are like... Shikirabo word game. Look, these words are words that, like, I understand in context, but I don't use a lot out of context. Like, if you ask me just to define a word, it's weird. It's, like, hard for me to figure out what it means. But you give it context and it's like, oh yeah, it means that. Language is weird. Yeah, bingo. I mean, you also have to remember, I'm trying to, like, read this as well. So, like, word game plus this, I have to, like, figure out how to divide my attention here. Okay, let's go home. The atmosphere was natural between us, just like when we were kids. It made me strangely happy and I smiled in spite of myself. Alright, I'll admit, harang, if that's how you pronounce that, I have never heard of that word before. I don't think I've ever seen that word. Or is that harangwe? Like segue. Yeah, let's go home. Somehow everything, even what happened at the last practice, seemed to be totally resolved. When I thought about it, I had considered Torta as my partner from the beginning. It just seemed natural. Trying to force myself to change that was probably just a waste of time. However, I wanted to make sure I maintained a distance between us. I couldn't get too close, and I couldn't let anyone get hurt. Yes, no, definitely can't let anyone get hurt. Definitely didn't happen the last 2 times. Thought about selfish things like that. Yes. Heaven forbid you ditch your girlfriend for her sister. Chris, she'll be here soon. That's another word I haven't heard of. Diatribe? Diatribe? Not sure how you pronounce that either. Morning. Don't worry me. It's already time for Torta to be here. Is it noon already? It's after 11:30. Oh, she said she'd come in the early afternoon. I'm sure Torta will come after 12, not after 1. You really do know her. You're correct. I got up quickly while being careful not to knock Forney over on the pillow. Okay, I guess I'll take a shower first. Yeah, hurry up. Yeah. I took a quick shower and walked back in the room, wiping my hair with a towel. Oh, morning. Tortoise here. How did you... Didn't you leave the door unlocked for me? Oh, did you forget to lock it? That's dangerous. No. Did I really forget to lock it? I unlocked it before Torta got here. I thumped Forney's head lightly with her fingers. She stood on the table with her chest proudly puffed out. Ow! Well, it's lucky I forgot to lock it. I'm glad you didn't have to wait in the cold. Really lucky. But aren't you early? It was only just past 12 o'clock. It's after 12 o'clock, isn't it? I'll ask this just in case. What time did you get here? 12:01. Wouldn't you just say exactly 12? No, I wouldn't. Yes, you would. I wouldn't say it. Right. Okay, let's practice. Placid. I was gonna say it's like it's complacent, but that's not. I'm trying to remember what that word is. I haven't seen that word in a while. I'm trying to remember like what kind of context I've seen that word in, but I can't think of anything for placid. Are we gonna actually have to practice here, or is it gonna be like fake practice? Torta said this in her normal tone. I was hoping she'd realize the situation and say something, but it was probably impossible. I just woke up. You took a shower, so I'm sure you're awake now. Alright, fine. Did you eat lunch? Not really, but isn't it breakfast for you, Chris? That's the plan. What'd you want to do, Torta? I'd be fine until the evening if I had to be. She just wants to practice. Let her practice. Then, should I make something? Huh? Really? It'd be easier for me than just practicing right away. Though I can only make simple stuff, okay? Hey! I'd just taken a shower, but I wasn't totally awake yet. I wanted to take it a little easier on my day off, so all I could think to do was make something simple. Okay, sit down and wait for a bit. Yes, sir. Torta sat in a chair and Forney watched happily from in front of her. Like time no see. Forney talked earnestly at Torta, moving her wings restlessly. Well, I didn't mind what she did as long as she didn't get caught. Now then. So, like, can she get detected? Because, like, she's talking and no one hears her, but, like, what circumstances reveals her presence? I would like to know. I went to the kitchen, got the espresso maker, called a machinetta, ready and boiled some water to warm up the cups. Machinetta? The hell's that? How about that word? What does machinetta mean? Find that one out. Put the filter filled with coffee grinds in the top and put water in the bottom. Let's play Italian word game. Yeah, there you go. That's the context I was thinking of. It's an adjective. I knew that. I guess it's just content. That's what I was thinking. I was like, no, that can't be right. There's gotta be more to it than that. Coffee would be made just like that, so I put some milk in the attached container in the meantime, mixed it briskly until it foamed. With just a little bit of work, even simple cooking could be quite something. Henrietta taught me almost all of this knowledge, and it was useful while living alone. Next, I put some rusks I had bought on a plate and got out some hazelnut chocolate spread that Torta liked. Around the time a good smell was coming from the espresso maker, the water was boiling and I warmed the cups with it. Ew, he's putting Nutella on these things. That sounds disgusting. I looked up what rusks are. They're like really dry bread. Like, you know those like rye bread crackers that you can buy at grocery stores? It's like that. There's like no sweetener or anything to them. They're super dry. And then just the idea of putting something like Nutella on it sounds like it would just be terrible. What is this girl and why does she eat this stuff? The morning of my days off, though it was actually afternoon for me, I just ate what I wanted. It was breakfast that couldn't really be called cooking. I mixed the brewed coffee with the frothy milk in a 1-to-3 ratio and made cafe latte. The whole thing took less than 10 minutes. It's ready. Can you help me carry it to the table? Nope. I knew that. Torta? Huh? Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Torta came to the kitchen, and we carried out the cups and plates together. It means show low emotion. Okay, so I was pretty close then. I would say content can be used kind of in a similar fashion. Oh, that looks good. And there's chocolate spread. You always said you liked it, Torta, so I brought some and liked it too. I see. That's good. It was a little early for me, but I thought I could eat this much. I knew I'd regret it if I practiced without eating anything. Help yourself. Don't mind if I do. It's kind of nice. Just as Torta spoke, she spread some chocolate on a rusk. While she was engrossed in that, I looked at Forney surreptitiously. Hurry up and play. I'm bored. Forney just wouldn't understand how I felt, even though I couldn't answer. She said this over and over. So, let's start practicing as soon as we're done eating. Why are you saying the obvious? Oh, just to make sure. That's weird. That's weird. Who did she think I was explaining to? I glared lightly at Forney so as not to be seen by Torta, who was still lost in her chocolate. Forney went so far as to yawn, as if she didn't notice. It seems she was preoccupied with ignoring me. Thanks for the food. Torta placed her cup on the table and said discontentedly. Finally. Okay, let's start practicing soon. Yeah, I'll be ready in a second. When we finally finish eating, Forney rolled around on the desk, kicking her legs in a show of dissatisfaction only I could see. But when she heard Torta's voice, Forney jumped up and pointed to a regular seat on top of the fortel. I warmed up my voice at home, so I'm pretty much ready. I'm ready anytime too. I picked Forney up casually between two fingers and sat in front of the fortel. Then let's begin. I opened the sheet music and focused. I met Torta's gaze and pressed the keys. Are we playing or not? Are we playing? Ah! Oh, okay. I don't think we ever play in the apartment. They probably just don't have, like, a scene set up for that. Our practice that day was kind of fun. When Forney suddenly started to sing, I thought she'd be a distraction, but Forney's voice harmonized beautifully with Torta's, making a new sound. It was too bad I was the only one who could hear it. What? You already done? You're tired, Torta. Oh, yeah. I guess I am. That's enough for today. Yeah, it was kind of different than usual today. It was really good. Different? Like when you were saying before about the sound changing? No, it was something different again today. I just don't get it. Forget about it. Anyway, Marie's letter will come today. Yeah, it's probably already here. Why don't you go get it? I'll get it after you leave, Torta. Why? You could just get it now. I don't mind getting it. Then go ahead. Okay, I'll be back soon then. Have a nice trip. Yeah, trip to the front door. This mailbox doesn't even have to go outside. Still not understanding, I walked to the first floor mailbox. Marie's letter was already there as expected, so I retrieved it and went back. I'm back. Was the letter there? Yeah. I came back to the room and put the letter in the drawer without opening it, like I usually did. Huh? Aren't you going to read it? Yeah, I'm going to read it. Then why'd you put it away? Because I'll read it later, of course. Huh? You can just read it. What? I don't usually read letters in front of people. It's okay, I won't look. Then why are you trying to make me read it? I was just thinking you should read it quickly. There's plenty of time before tomorrow morning. And more to the point, I feel like there's something else to this. No. I was just wondering what kind of face you'd make when you're reading her letters, Chris. No particular face, just a normal face. You always smile. Like this. Really? Apparently. Looking slightly dissatisfied, Torta walked over to the drawer I had just shut and opened it without asking. Don't do that. It's okay, right? I'm not doing any harm. Saying this, Torta took the letter out of the drawer. Huh? These are all letters under here. Yes, so don't look. I can't look? You get letters from Marie, right, Torta? That's true. I'm sure they're no different. She just writes about recent events and what she's doing. But you keep them so carefully. Well... Aw, I wanted to see your smiling face, Chris. Don't smile. You're such a liar. Regardless, I'll read the letter and write a reply after you leave, Torta, so don't worry. Guess I don't have a choice. So what do you want to do now? Do you want to get something to eat? Yeah, that would be fine. Or you can make something, Chris. Are you as bad as cooking as always, Tora? I just don't think it's for me. Even though Aria's so good at it. Why don't you try practicing? I have been. Oh, I see. So do you want to try cooking? You're teasing me now. I didn't mean to. The fact that you heard it like that is proof you have no confidence. I don't mind. You say you really want to eat my cooking, Chris. You'll eat it too, right, Torta? I won't eat it. Of course not. Well, that's just the case, but you've gotten better since coming here, right? Nina is good at cooking after all. I suppose that's entirely possible, and not possible at the same time. Not an answer if I ever heard one. That's why you should cook, Chris. But I can only make simple things. If we eat out, I found a good place recently. A good place? Asino brought me there. Asino did? Is it that trattoria? Yeah, that's it. Do you know it? But I think Asino mentioned it when I was talking to him. That's fair. I didn't know you two talked. Well, just when I see him at school or around. About the trattoria. It's pretty cheap too. So how about it? I'll pass. I'd rather eat your cooking, Chris. You only make something simple like always, you know? Yeah, that's fine. Even though there's a girl at my house, I'm the one cooking. What the fuck? Yeah, when there's a girl at your house, you should be the one cooking. Excuse me? Doesn't matter if it's a girl, boy, or anything in between. Someone comes to your house, you don't make them cook. The fuck? I'll show you someday. You not whisper scary things like that. Oh, you heard that? You definitely said that so I could hear it. Anyway, just kill some time while you wait. Yes, sir. Forney must have been holding a grudge from me bumping her twice earlier, as she was swinging her legs over the edge of the table in annoyance. I casually picked her up by her back and brought her to the kitchen. When I decided Torta couldn't hear me, I spoke to Forney in a quiet voice. Did that hurt? It hurt. Shouldn't say those kinds of things, you know, Forney. It wasn't bad. Anyway, I don't smile, do I? Liar, you're always grinning when you say Ari. Now you're lying. That hurts. Well, the last part was a lie. If you keep saying things like that, I won't believe you. Did you call me? I didn't. Huh, you said something, didn't you? I was just going over ingredients out loud. You always fail because you don't measure properly, Torta. Shut up. Ingredients, that's a bad excuse. I wonder whose fault it is I had to make that excuse. It's your fault. Oh, that reminds me. I'm talking to the ingredients here. I picked her up with my fingers and held her over the pot for pasta I had set out. Well, hey, I don't taste good. I've never tried you, so I wouldn't know. Whoa. So will you wait quietly? You should probably, like, if you're gonna throw her in the pot, at least undress her first. I'm sure the cloth wouldn't taste good. That one doesn't need experimenting. Okay, I get it. I brought Forney back to the table just like that, picked up the alarm clock, and returned to the kitchen. Something simple but tasty would be good. I had already decided to make pasta. Now I needed were the ingredients. Thought something like a aglio olio de pepperonici would be safe. Yes, that sounds fancy as fuck, but I guess it's not. What's it with Italian and their fancy words? I took the olive oil with garlic soaking in it from the shelf and actually checked the ingredients this time. This man can only cook simple things, but he has like fancy things like garlic infused olive oil sitting on his shelf like some 5-star cook. Where's he getting this stuff from if he doesn't cook? Isn't that too much garlic? That is a sentence, that's a question that has a consistent answer, and that answer is no. Because you can never have too much garlic, okay? If you ever cook, you can never have too much garlic. You have too little garlic, but you can never have too much. I was waiting for her to say it was good, so those words surprised me slightly. I tried it myself, and, well, I suppose it was more than normal. I guess. It might be more than what you usually get at a restaurant, but isn't this better? It is. Restaurants don't know what they're doing when it comes to garlic. It's never enough garlic. It is good. Oh, well that's good then. Even though you're eating with a girl. I don't think I have to worry about that with you, Torta. That may be true, but I kind of feel like you're looking down on me. That's not what I meant, says the man who complained that the girl wasn't cooking in the kitchen. Well, you did make the same thing when Ari came. What did she say in her letter? What? Oh, what was it? It was last year. I forgot. That means it was nothing special, right? I said I forgot. If that's the case, then fine. Oh, right. You said you didn't even kiss her. Oh, a shot passed out of my nose. Even Forney, listening grumpily to our conversation, laughed. How much did she write? I know you're her little sister, but... I wouldn't have said it if you hadn't asked, Chris. You deserve it. I'm sure your letters have things you can't tell me about, Chris. No, they don't. Really? Then show me. I'm kidding. I have an idea what Aria would write. No, you may be twins, but you're very different. Writing skills aren't based on genetics. So, I take it you're making a fool of me now? No, I mean that you have your good points too, Torta. You're such a liar. That sounds like a lie. Listen, it doesn't matter, so let's hurry and eat. We'll talk about that later. This guy, it's a wonder he even gets with anyone. I'll go home soon. Okay, it's late, so I'll walk you. It's okay. Why don't you save that kind of thing for Ree? Shut up, I'm walking you. Fine. The night got late, and I walked the girl home. That would be the easiest way to explain the situation I was currently in. But my situation was a little more complicated. I couldn't simply be happy, but I couldn't avoid it either. Even though I was the one who suggested it, I was being very careful of what I said as I walked. There were few words, only the sound of rain echoed in my ears. Hey, Chris. Torta suddenly stopped under a streetlight and murmured, What? Do you plan on just making me your partner? It was a question that could have come at any time, but never had. She asked me seriously, so I had to answer her just as seriously. Oops. Fuck. Doesn't lock the mouse. Plus, I thought I needed to answer simply and plainly. Okay, so this is where we need to save. This is actually pretty far back. This is gonna be interesting. We'll go for the good ending, because I have a feeling the bad ending is the one we already saw. I do. I waited for a very short time, then answered. I phrased it badly. Can you decide here and now? Partnering with me. I can decide. That's what I meant when I said it. I thought seriously when I answered this question. Okay, so the game fucking tricks you into thinking that you wanted to, like, go out with her. It's done this twice now, where it's, like, swap the answers around to what you think you want. I had thought many times about whether or not to make her my partner. All I had done was put the result of that thinking into words. Really? Yeah, really. That's... for whom? Seeming to want so much to hear this, Torta looked up at me and stopped speaking. I answered to fill the silence. For myself. Is that bad? And also for Torta. If I were to add one thing, I'm sure I would have said that. But I felt it was best not to say those words. Recently, silences like this had often occurred between us. I also needed the time to think. And in the end, I had chosen Torta right at that moment. Okay. Torta murmured in a small voice. I didn't ask her to repeat herself. I'm happy to have you as my partner. Yeah. In the end, those were the only words we exchanged. Torta didn't say bye or see you tomorrow or anything. I watched Torta walking until she was very near her house on the other side of the street. Then I looked up at the sky. Still had doubts. But I was sure I would at least wouldn't regret this. No matter the result. I had chosen her for myself. Welcome home. Despite how badly I picked on her, Forney was in good spirits. She was especially like this whenever Torta visited. More to the point, it was rare for someone to visit us, so she may have simply been happy because of that. Now, it's time for Ree's letter. I'll say this before I start. I don't grin. If you insist, I'll keep a close eye on you. No, it's hard to read when you watch me. Please don't. In that case, we're performing an ensemble like always when you're done. Yeah. You have a lot of energy, even after singing so much. I don't know. I never gotten tired. She really was a strange creature. Whatever, I'll finish very soon. Took the letter out of the drawer I put it in before, cut the envelope carefully and removed the letter. Began reading, slightly worried about what kind of face I was making. Chris, is it still raining there? The weather here is nice. Would actually be nice to get some rain. Then I would understand how you feel, Chris. I heard you've been practicing a lot with Torta lately, so Torta and I both feel better. I was worried that you might pair up with another girl, or that maybe you would end up with no partner, so I'm relieved. I know the chance of your partner being a girl is half and half, so I don't have to worry about it so much, but, you know. Just laugh and forgive me for that last worry. By the way, I unfortunately have something to tell you. I wrote about it before, but I'm about to be given more responsibility. Now even with the training of new employees is left to me. So, since the end of the year is especially busy, I don't think I can get away. I thought I could see you at Natalie, but I don't think it'll be possible. It's really unfortunate we can't see each other. But you seem busy with the practice for your graduation recital, Chris, so I'll be patient this time. When I think about it, even that need to be patient will be over soon. Can't wait for that day to come. Until the next letter, then. Love, Arietta. Hey, she didn't break up this time. That's success. What did she say? Nothing special. Same as always. Weird, you look pretty depressed. Are you watching me? I'm watching you now. Oh, Marie just said she can't come here. Just that. I see. Forney said this regretfully. Even though I couldn't pay attention to her all day when Marie came, she always looked happy. So Forney really liked Marie, and must have been thinking it was unfortunate. She's busy. I'll be busy too, so it can't be helped. Forney seemed to bow her head in thought for a moment, but then continued as if nothing happened. Oh well, you should just write your reply for now. Yeah, you're right. That I couldn't see her on Natalie. That I thought it was too bad. Also about Torta. I wrote a simple reply like always, and turned to my Fortel. When I was performing, that was the only time I could forget. I was certainly tired, but I didn't want to think about it now.
Where must go? There it is.
The letter I wrote ended with this sentence. I ended up partnering with Torta. Does that make you feel a little better, Ari? Maybe he is doing it for her. What time is it? Alright, well, we'll do like another day maybe. So, let's practice hard again today. I decided to make Torta my partner the previous day, and she agreed. That's all it was, but I sort of felt good having made up my mind. Yeah, there's 1 month left. Every day. Well, not really, but we need to practice a lot. Don't be too hard on me. Stop that. Now, it's not just about you, Chris. It's about me, too. I know. Really? Then hard practice will be okay. Depends how hard, but okay. Good then. Now to practice. Alright, perfect. I'll finish this day and then we'll switch to Osu. I don't know what could possibly happen. So far, nothing crazy bad's happened. No, like, ulterior motives from anyone. I feel like things are going a little too well. But maybe this is like the almost perfect end. Because at the very least, like, we didn't break up with Ari, which is a first. Fuck. That's okay. Oh no, that's when I'm supposed to move my hand. Fuck. That's how it throws you off. Because like the way I place my fingers, I don't have any fingers on C at that time. I'll take that 1230 388. That's a good score. My practice that day was surprisingly serious. Maybe it's because I'd made up my mind. Thanks to practicing 4 times a week, we were perfectly synced. We didn't practice every day, but there was almost no days we didn't see each other. And more than anything else, I spent a lot of time with her. Phew, I'm tired. Me too. Unusually, we were both tired. This kind of reminds me of when we were kids. What? That's sudden. It's been a long time since I was this tired. Leaving out last time at the house. I was tired then too. But no one was listening to us today. Torta leaned against the wall. Then she looked around. Though saying that, the practice room was small. I couldn't tell what she was looking at. What are you looking at? Oh, I wasn't looking at anything. It's like this air, this atmosphere. It's kind of nostalgic. The air. So much has been happening that I haven't had the time to think about it until recently. I guess. I was the reason for that, so I kept my mouth shut and we waited for her next words. I don't think I've practiced enough to get tired since coming to this school. Of course, I practiced seriously, but we don't overdo it like when we were kids, right? So I was looking at the ceiling and thinking it was a little nostalgic. That reminds me, as kids we used to practice until we dropped in music class, and we looked up at the ceiling. I imitated Torta and looked up at the ceiling. It really was nostalgic. I hadn't looked up like this since I came to the school. Of course, the ceiling of the practice room in my memory was bigger and wider. And more than anything, I thought it was higher. But why were we able to overdo it like that? Because it was fun, right? Yeah, that's true. It was fun for me. Those are rare words from the practice-hating Chris. I don't hate it, just I don't have a reason to be serious about it. Also, it was probably that I felt I was required to. Is there one now? A reason to be serious? Torta suddenly looked serious as she said this. There is, and I'm enjoying it. Oh. Torta looked at the ceiling again and answered without looking at me. The ceiling looked low enough to reach out and touch. Had my heart grown as much as my height? I looked at the ceiling for a while thinking of those things. Alright, probably should save it here, and we'll play some Osu for a bit. I feel like something's gonna happen soon. I'm not sure what, though. There's gotta be something with this route. I'm just not sure what. But we will finish that route off next time. We'll switch over to Osu for a little bit. It's been a while since I've played that.